Tunisia's parliament is due to hold a vote of confidence on a new unity government. The Tunisian president designated Youssef Chahed as prime minister early this month after lawmakers passed a vote of no confidence in the previous government. If approved, one of the first jobs of the new government will be to tackle the country's worsening economic situation. Let's go straight to our correspondent, Abubakr Al Shamahi, who is live for us in Tunis. Abubakr, good to see you. Now, let's talk us through a bit of background to this. I mean, why this new appointment of a new prime minister, Youssef Chahed? Tell us a bit about him. Why are we seeing a new prime minister when the last prime minister was only in power for 18 months, I believe?
Well, this new government comes after months of political turmoil in Tunisia and economic turmoil. There were protests earlier this year in Qasrin, in Sidi Bouzid, in the interior of the country. And President Beji Qaid al-Sibsi blamed the poor economic performance of Tunisia and the security situation on the government, and he asked for a national unity government to be formed. Now, Habib al-Sid, the prime minister, who, as you said, was only in power for a year and a half, he's a technocrat. He actually refused to go easily, and he asked for a vote of confidence in Parliament, which he duly lost at the end of July. Since then, there's been a month of standby while parties negotiate to form this new government. Youssef Chahed is the new Prime Minister, or is expected to be the new Prime Minister. He's 40 years old, he's the youngest Prime Minister in Tunisian history, and that is very different to Sibsi himself, who's in his late 80s now. Chahed, though, is a former minister. He was a minister in the past government. He's seen by some in Tunisia as another member of the elite. And so perhaps some of those who feel disenfranchised and angry at the poor economic performance of the country and the rising unemployment won't be happy with his appointment. Now, the new Tunisian government, as a national unity government, is focusing on diversity. And in Tunisia, since the revolution, various coalition governments have been formed that are focused, like I say, on diversity, on different viewpoints. But in reality, because of the huge problems that Tunisia has faced, it's been very hard with those different viewpoints in government to actually get concrete action. And in fact, those different viewpoints have at times caused paralysis in the face of those problems.
Abubakr, Tunisia, of course, will be known in the last few months for the attacks, attacks on tourist places in many beach resorts and so on. I mean, talk us through sort of the economic impact that has had on Tunisia and the challenges now facing this new government.
Well, the tourism sector is one of Tunisia's most important economic sectors. And after those attacks that you mentioned, the terrorist attacks in Sousse, in Bardo here in Tunis, the number of tourists, especially from Western countries, sharply dropped. This year, most tourists in Tunisia, or many tourists in Tunisia, have actually been from the surrounding region, from other Arab countries. And if you go to many Tunisian tourist resorts, you can see they're having a difficult time this year in particular. So that tourism sector being on a downward spiral has obviously affected the wider economic situation here in Tunisia.
Okay, many thanks for that. Abubakr Al Shamahi there for us in Tunis.